What's going on, everybody? Okay. So my buddy Franklin, or at Frank's Cards and whatever it is. Sorry, Frank. Um, Basically, he did a challenge and he asked me to do it. I guess the premise of this challenge is to talk about somebody who shakes the table all the time. I keep shaking the table, that's why everything's moving.
Sorry.
Talk about somebody from your hometown. For me, it was Richmond, California, and the only person that I know of without doing any research that's from Richmond, California is Willie McGee. I mean, he's a World Series champ, if I'm not mistaken, with the Cardinals, with Pete Rose and stuff like that. I could be wrong. Was that the Reds? I don't know. I think he's a World Series champ. I believe he is. I don't know. Listen, this is what I know about Willie. He played for the Giants. He played for the Cards. He played for the A's. He played for one other team, I believe. Now, Willie McGee holds a good place in my little heart here. A Grinch of a heart. Because when I was a kid, I've said this story a lot. When I was a kid, there's the high school that he used to go to called it was called Harry L's. It's not called Harry L's anymore. It's called something else, and it's a middle school now, I believe. They tore down the original one and made it a new thing. Anyways, I digress. Anyways, so at that high school, there was a bunch of different baseball fields, and right next to the high school was is a park called Nicholas. Is it Nicholas Park? No. Yes, Nicholas Park. No, it's not Nicholas Park. Yes, it is Nicholas Park. Sorry, I'm arguing with myself. I can't remember. I was a kid. And so he would come on, if I'm not mistaken, it was Wednesdays. He would come down and he would teach each team. He'll go to each team during their practices and help out and teach. Now, this was a predominantly black neighborhood that I lived in, and I was the only white kid, basically in the whole league, really, but especially on this team. And we sucked. We were called the Richmond Rockets. We were horrible. I think we won 3 games, maybe. Anyways, so Willie McGee would be there, and he'd help teach us all that stuff like that. So I got to meet him, and I said one day to my dad, I was like, "Man, do you think Willie will be back next week so I can go ahead and get, my card in a baseball signed or something like that?" I think this was the first time I met him. I just grabbed one of our random practice balls, and my dad and I would always go to we'd always go to NASCAR every year. So in my dad's old Volvo, we'd always had a gang of Sharpies. So I ran to the car, grabbed a Sharpie, came back, and had him sign this baseball for me. So this baseball is complete from practice and everything like that. So he signed that for me. And then I asked Dad, I was like, "Man, I wish I had my card," because my dad got me the whole 87 Topps set one day at the card store. And I remember this was like my only Willie McGee card that I remembered that I had. So I went out and went home, pulled the card out, and I kept it with us in the car for every practice, just in case Willie showed up. He did, and so I had him sign the card. Messed up part was I grabbed one of our Sharpies that was dying, and Willie was like a weird guy that was like, he was really quick. He was like in and out type thing. He liked to just boom, gone, like just flash, I'm out. So it's like I couldn't be like, "Can you hold on a second? Can I get a better Sharpie?" So anyways, but yeah, so that's the guy from my hometown as Willie McGee. I know there's other sports people and singers and stuff like that I looked up a long time ago that's from Richmond, California. And I know there's a bunch of different rappers from Richmond, California as well. Tupac was one of them. He's not from, but he grew up there too, between Oakland, Hunters Point, and Berkeley, stuff like that. So, but anyways, this is about Willie. So Willie, Richmond, California. I think he lives in Martinez now, California. I don't know, who knows. So there it is, Frank. I know you said this is for Canadian cards or my Canadian cards. I don't know. You said it was for somebody. I was eating dinner when I watched it, and then I heard you call my name and was like Frost, and I was like, you son of a bitch. So there it is, Frank. Just for you, buddy. You know I don't do contests. This is not an official contest entry because I don't do contests. Sorry. Willie McGee, Richmond, California.